The Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine. Millions of women all over America serve Parquet because it tastes so good. Why, Parquet tastes like it should cost twice as much.
To market, to get some Parquet. Home again, try it today. You'll like it, you'll love it, like millions who say their favorite margarine is
Parkay, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. Well, the Great Gildersleeve is facing the new year with a big problem on his mind.
Adeline.
Yes, that's his problem. Adeline Fairchild, his charming bride-to-be. One of the reasons the great man and Adeline decided to get married was so they could adopt the little baby girl the Gildersleeve family's been taking care of lately. Well, the baby is back with her father now, but Adeline is still very much there. So, to marry or not to marry, that is the question.
Yes.
It's enough to make a man pace the floor.
Adeline's a wonderful woman. She'd make a fine wife. But do I really want to get married? I don't know. Anyhow, it wouldn't be fair to back out of it right now, just because the baby's gone. It'd be nice to be married, I think. But I've been a bachelor too long to change now.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, hello, Bertie.
You all right, Mr. Gildersleeve?
What? Oh, sure, I'm all right.
Oh, thought I heard you walking up and down in here.
Walking up and down? Well...
I hope dinner didn't disagree with you.
No, I feel fine.
Yes, sir. But you look kind of worried. Sure there's nothing bothering you?
Bothering me? Of course not.
Well, you sure look worried. Something wrong with the water department?
Bertie, there is nothing wrong.
Yes, sir. But you sure look worried. Must be something bothering you.
Believe me, Bertie, there is nothing bothering me. In fact, I'm all right. I'm happy.
Yes, sir.
I'm very happy.
Yes, sir.
I'm just about the happiest man in the whole world.
Yes, sir. For the happiest man in the world, you sure look worried.
I sure feel worried, too. I'll have to make up my mind pretty soon. Adeline must think it's funny I haven't mentioned the marriage all week. She hasn't said anything either. Guess she's waiting for me.
Hi, Unc.
Hello, Leroy.
What are you doing?
What?
What are you walking around the room for?
I'm in training, Leroy. I'm going out for the low hurdles in the Olympic Games.
What? Oh. Say, Unc, can I talk to you about something?
Not right now, Leroy.
It's awful important.
Not right now, I told you.
I've got a problem.
You've got a problem.
Huh?
Nothing, my boy. What's your trouble?
Well, Elmer's lonesome.
Elmer?
My turtle.
Oh, my goodness.
He hasn't been eating lately. I think he's lonesome up in my room all day by himself.
What do you want me to do? Go up there and sit with him?
Well, I thought I might buy another turtle to keep him company.
Well, we'll see.
I saw a swell turtle downtown for only 75 cents.
Leroy, we'll talk about it some other time.
But,
The subject is closed. I've got other things on my mind right now.
Well, what about Elmer?
Elmer will just have to work this thing out for himself.
But,
Leroy.
Okay.
A turtle. A lonesome turtle. Elmer doesn't know when he's well off. I better stop this. I'm wearing out the rug.
Unky,
What?
Have you seen my movie magazine? I left it down here somewhere.
No, I haven't, Marjorie. I don't read movie magazines.
Oh, maybe it's under the sofa pillows. It had Gary Cooper on the cover.
That's very interesting.
He was wearing a checkered shirt.
Good for him.
Are you sure you haven't seen it, Unky?
No, I haven't. And Marge, will you please stop tearing up the room?
My, but you're jumpy tonight.
Well,
Don't you feel well?
I feel fine.
Well, there's something on your mind. Is it Miss Fairchild?
What? Adeline? Of course not. What made you think that?
Well, something's the matter. She still wants to marry you, doesn't she?
Huh? Why shouldn't she?
Well, I just thought now that you two can't adopt the baby, she might have changed her mind.
You think so? Say, that would be awful, wouldn't it?
Well, I know you have a fatal fascination, but it's just possible Miss Fairchild might be able to resist your charms.
Well, it's possible, all right.
Of course.
You know, Marjorie, you may be right. Adeline hasn't said anything about our marriage all week. By George, maybe she has changed her mind.
Why, Unky, you sound happy about it.
Happy? Who's happy? See you later, my dear.
Where are you going, Uncle
Over to see
Mort?
Adeline. Want to make sure she's changed her mind. I mean, she hasn't changed her mind. Where's my coat? Oh! Didn't see the coffee table. And look what's under it. Your movie magazine, Gary Cooper. He looks wonderful in that checkered shirt. Hiya, Gary. Goodbye.
Sometimes I wonder about Unky.
Funny. Never occurred to me that Adeline might not want to marry me. Maybe I've just been worrying about nothing. Sure, it'll be better this way. I'll just let her break it off and then... Oh, hello, Adeline.
Throckmorton, come in.
Thank you.
Didn't expect to see you tonight.
Well, I just thought I'd come over and surprise you.
I'm glad you did. Sit down.
Thank you. How have you been, Adeline?
Just fine, sir. How have you been?
Fine. Yeah, just fine. Well, here it is, Adeline, almost New Year's.
Yes.
You know what they say about New Year's? Gives you a chance to start over. Correct last year's mistakes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, off with the old, on with the new. That's what they say.
Throckmorton, what's the matter with you tonight?
Me? Why, nothing. Nothing at all. Adeline.
Yes?
Adeline, we haven't talked much about our marriage lately.
No, we haven't. I'm glad you brought it up, Throckmorton. There's something I wanted to tell you about that.
There is?
I've been thinking things over, Throckmorton, and I...
Yes?
Oh, nothing.
Go on, Adeline. What were you going to tell me?
Well, maybe you wouldn't like to hear it.
Oh, yes, I would.
Well...
That's all right, Adeline. If you're thinking of changing our plans, I'll understand. Of course, I'll be heartbroken.
But Throckmorton...
Believe me, I wouldn't blame you for anything you do. After all, I'm no prize. I'm just a middle-aged water commissioner. I'm fat. Well, stylishly stout.
Oh, now, Throckmorton...
It's really up to you. Don't try to spare my feelings. It won't be easy ending my days as a lonely old bachelor. But I'll be brave. Now, what was it you wanted to tell me?
Why, darling, I just wanted to tell you that I think we should get married right away.
Huh? Is that what you wanted to tell me?
Yes, you sweet old thing. I'll marry you, even if you're all middle-aged and fat. So you just go right on down and see the minister tomorrow so we can set the date.
The minister?
Yes, and don't you worry, Throckmorton. You'll never be a lonely old bachelor.
No, I guess I won't.
Well, hello, Gildy.
Oh, you here, Judge.
Yes, I came over to challenge you to a game of checkers, but it seems you were over calling on your light of love.
Yes, yes.
So I decided to stay and play Parcheesi with the children.
You didn't stay over at Miss Fairchild's very long, Unky.
Well, I thought I'd come home early and get some sleep.
What's the matter, Gildy? Don't you get enough sleep down at the water department?
Very funny, you old goat.
Now, Gildy, we all know you're a very fine water commissioner.
Everything work out all right, Uncle Mort?
What?
You know, with Miss Fairchild. What happened?
Well,
What's this all about?
you might as well know it now. Adeline and I are going to be married right away.
Well, that's wonderful news.
Gee, no kidding?
Oh, Uncle Mort, so you talked Miss Fairchild into it.
I sure did.
When's the happy day? When's the happy day going to be, Gildy?
Happy day? Oh, the wedding. Yeah, well, pretty soon, I guess. I'm going to see Reverend Prescott tomorrow.
Oh, I can't wait for the wedding. I'll be a bridesmaid.
And I'll be a flower girl.
The bells are ringing for you and your dad.
All right, Judge.
Mr. Gildersleeve, what's going on in here?
Bertie, Unky and Miss Fairchild are going to get married right away.
Isn't that wonderful? Congratulations, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Thank you, Bertie.
Well, you won't look worried no more now, Mr. Gildersleeve. You'll be happy.
Yes, of course.
Yes, sir, you'll be happy.
Well, Gildy, old friend, this is one of life's golden moments. So I'll let you savor it with your little family. I'll just say congratulations, old friend, and adieu.
Thank you, Horace. Good night.
Good night, Jack.
Good night.
Good night, all. The bells are ringing for you and your dad.
Oh, Uncle Mort, I'm so glad it turned out this way. Congratulations.
Thank you, my dear.
Yeah, I guess you're pretty happy, Unc.
Oh, yes. Yes, I am. I'm very happy. I've never been so happy in my life.
Boy, what a character.
Mr. Ward, you know what I think?
What's that, Bertie?
I think we ought to have a slogan for parquet. Because everybody's going to like parquet margarine once they try it. But they got to remember to try it.
Well, a slogan like
Like parquet tastes so good, tastes like it should cost twice as much.
Well, whether or not that's a slogan, Bertie, it certainly is true. And parquet tastes so good because it's made from the carefully selected products of American farms. It's actually prepared by Kraft with all the care of a rare luxury food. The nice part is, though every pound of parquet gives you all the nutritional value of the most expensive spreads, plus 15,000 units of essential vitamin A, parquet costs only about half as much.
That's right, Mr. Wall. And as good as that cost is, the taste is even better.
And wonderful on hot rolls.
Or muffins, Mr. Wall, or waffles, or pancakes. And wonderful for cooking, too. It's just good eating no matter what way you use it. Tastes like it should cost twice as much.
So, friends, why not serve parquet on your table this week? Ask for some tomorrow. That's parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, parquet margarine made by Kraft. Well, now back to our happy bridegroom. The great Gildersleeve seems to be spending a very sleepless night.
Wish I could get some sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I hear that music. There it goes again. Why doesn't it stop? Maybe if I turn over, it'll go away. It's gone. Now maybe I can get some sleep. Sure. I just close my eyes.
Do you, Adeline Fairchild, take this man to be your lawful wedded husband?
I do.
And do you, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't. I don't. What a night. I don't want to get married. I like being a bachelor. How am I going to tell poor Adeline? Well, I'll just have to do it. I'll tell her the first thing in the morning. Courage, Gildersleeve. You're not afraid. Courage. Well, what are you waiting for, Gildersleeve? You said you were going to tell her this morning. Just knock on her door and get it over with. All right, by George, I will.
Why, good morning, Throckmorton.
Good morning, Adeline. Here's your morning paper. Goodbye. Good morning, Peavy.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
What's this? I suppose the judge told you.
And how is the happy bridegroom this morning?
Oh, I'm all right, I guess. Peavy, I just came in for a cigar, and I'm in a hurry.
Oh, yes. I suppose you can't wait till you see the minister.
That's what you think.
How's that?
Nothing, Peavy. You just give me the cigar.
Oh, of course. There you are.
Thanks.
And, Mr. Gildersleeve, you can light it when you get home. You and Miss Fairchild make such a good match.
Heaven's sake, Peavy.
That was a little witticism, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I know, Peavy.
You make a good match. Don't you get it?
Yes. Peavy, that joke is older than you are.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, I'll see you later.
Just a minute, Mr. Gildersleeve. I have something to tell you.
What's that?
Well, it's my pleasant duty to invite you to the Jolly Boys tonight.
Tonight?
Yes, we're having a little celebration in honor of your coming wedding.
Oh, you are?
Yes, sir. We're going to give you a real send-off.
But, Peavy, I don't want you to do that.
Oh, we're glad to do it.
Yes, I know,
It's
but...
the least we can do for a fellow Jolly Boy. It'll be a night you'll never forget, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy, you don't understand.
There'll be speeches, singing, all the cokes you can drink.
Peavy, I don't want a party.
Now, you just go see the minister and leave the party to us.
But...
There'll be a hot time in the old town tonight.
Oh, what's the use? What a life. Well, there's a light over the barber shop. The Jolly Boys are all waiting for me, I guess. Just have to tell them I'm not going to see the minister. I'm not going to get married. I'll tell Adeline tomorrow. Positively. Listen to them. They're a swell bunch of fellows. They went to all this trouble, too, just for me. Well, I've got to tell him.
There he is. Well, if it isn't the guest of honor.
Hello.
How are you, Commissioner?
I'm all right.
Hello, Commissioner.
Hello, Chief.
So you're about to take the fatal step.
Well...
Marriage isn't a step. It's a big jump. Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Well, gentlemen, shall we begin the festivities in honor of our bridegroom-to-be?
Sure.
Judge, there's something I want to say to all of you.
Now, Gildy, let us make the speeches first. You get your turn later.
But, Judge...
Gather around the table, everybody, and bring your coat.
Now, wait a minute, fellas. I really want...
Now, Gildy, you sit here as guest of honor. Quiet, everybody.
All right.
Hello, Jolly Boys, on this auspicious evening.
Judge, I've got to say something.
Gildy, I told you you'll get your turn later.
Now, look, the commish wants to talk now. He knows after he gets married, he won't get a chance.
That will do, Floyd. Hello, Jolly Boys, on this auspicious evening. It is only fitting we start with a toast to our dear friend who is leaving the ranks of bachelorhood.
Mm-hmm.
This toast will be rendered by Summerfield's leading pharmacist, Mr. Richard Peavy. Mr. Peavy?
Thank you. They say when you wed, you can't go wrong. You settle down in a flat. They say married life is just a song. Well, now, I wouldn't say that.
Oh.
Well, we thought you wouldn't mind a little humor, Gildy. We all know you'll be very happy with Miss Fairchild.
Of course, Mr. Gildersleeve. I was only joshing.
Well, enough of frivolity. Now, my friend...
Judge, if you'll just let me say something.
Quiet, Gildy. I have the floor. Friends, I have just a few words to say.
Good.
I heard that, Floyd.
Go on, Judge.
Thank you. Jolly boy Gildersleeve, I have a confession to make.
Hmm?
I must admit that there are those of us who doubted that this marriage between you and Miss Fairchild would ever take place.
You did?
Yeah. You're such a confirmed bachelor. We feared that at the last moment you might evade this marriage.
Well,
And disappoint this fine young Southern woman who has put her trust in you.
Yeah, we should have known you wouldn't be a skunk, Commish.
Yes, we apologize for misjudging you, Gildy. You've proven yourself a gentleman and a jolly boy. We're proud of you.
Now, fellas, I don't deserve this.
Oh, you do, Commish. You're a great guy. All together, men.
What are you going to do?
For he's a
jolly
good
fellow.
fellow.
For
he's a jolly good fellow.
Wait a minute.
For he's a jolly good fellow. And nobody can deny. Hey, Commish, where you going?
See you later, fellas. I have to see a minister about a wedding. Hope you don't mind my dropping in this late, Dr. Prescott.
Why, not at all. I was just working on my sermon for next Sunday.
Oh? Well, don't let me interrupt you, Reverend. Doctor.
It's quite all right. I was looking for an excuse to stop for a while anyway. What can I do for you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, you see, Adeline, that is, Miss Fairchild and I are planning to get married.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And we'd like you to officiate at our wedding.
Why, I'd be delighted, Mr. Gildersleeve. When did you and Miss Fairchild decide to get married?
Well, we became engaged several weeks ago. That's when I was taking care of the little baby girl.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So we thought we might get married and adopt the baby.
I see. I understand the baby is back with her father now.
Yeah, that's right. But there's no reason why I shouldn't marry Adeline anyway. I mean, I want to. Very much.
Oh. Yes.
Adeline will make a good wife, all right. She's understanding, friendly, companionable.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to set the date. Get it over with. That is, get it all settled.
Mr. Gildersleeve, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
Are you quite sure you want to get married?
What? Certainly. Of course I am.
You're really in love with Miss Fairchild, deeply?
Well...
You're not just going through with this marriage from a sense of duty?
Well, Dr. Prescott, you see...
Yes, I think I do see. Mr. Gildersleeve, I believe you're trying to do something that's very honorable and fine. But I'm not sure that you're being fair to either yourself or Miss Fairchild.
Oh, but I can't disappoint Adeline. Wouldn't be right.
Sometimes it's hard to know just what is right. But I sincerely believe that a marriage based only on duty or an obligation can never be a happy one.
You're right, Dr. Prescott, but what am I going to do?
I think you owe it to Miss Fairchild to be honest, don't you?
Yes.
Good night, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Huh? Oh, good night. And thanks.
Oh, Throckmorton.
Evening, Adeline.
Come in.
Thanks. I'm glad you're still up.
Well, I was sort of hoping you'd come over tonight.
Yeah, well, here I am.
Please, sit down.
Thanks. Adeline,
Yes?
there's something I want to tell you.
Yes?
Adeline, rather warm in here, isn't it?
Throckmorton, when two people are planning to get married, I think they should be very honest with each other, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do.
If you had something to tell me, I'd want you to say it.
Oh, yes, of course. Adeline?
And if I have something to tell you, I should say it too.
What?
I'm going to be honest with you, Throckmorton. I really don't want to go through with our wedding.
Huh? You don't?
You're a wonderful person, and I'm very fond of you, but, well, I've been thinking about it a lot this past week, and I realize now I'm not really in love with you.
Oh.
I guess when we were making all those plans to adopt the baby, I just got carried away.
You did?
Oh, I know I should have told you before. I tried to tell you last night, but I felt so sorry for you when you talked about ending your days as a lonely old bachelor.
Lonely old Oh, yeah.
Oh, I hope you won't be heartbroken over this.
Well, this is quite a shock, Adeline.
I know I gave you my word, and I'll still go through with the marriage if you want me to.
Oh, no, I mean, it's all right.
I'm sure this is better for both of us.
It sure is. I mean, you're so right.
And Throckmorton, there's no reason why we can't go on being good friends.
No, of course not. Adeline,
Yes?
since we're not going to get married and we're just good friends, how about a little kiss?
Throckmorton!
There. It's much nicer this way. Good night, and Happy New Year.
Do you ever serve your cooked vegetables topped with golden, delicious parquet? There's nothing better on creamy mashed potatoes or hot 7-minute cabbage. And you can use parquet margarine generously because it costs less. Yes, nutritious as it is, reinforced with important vitamin A as it is, parquet costs only about half as much as the most expensive spreads. Try this margarine with a light, delicate luxury taste. Try it in cooking as well as a delicious spread for bread. See for yourself that parquet tastes like it should cost twice as much. That's Parkay, parquet margarine, made by Kraft.
All of us who bring you this program each week would like to wish you the best of everything during the coming year. Yes, sir? A Happy New Year from...
Una Merkel?
Walter Tetley.
Mary Lee Robb.
Lillian Randolph.
Earl Ross.
Dick LeGrand. Arthur Q. Bryan.
Ken Christie.
John Wald.
And me, Harold Perry.
And from Gene Stone and Jack Robinson, who wrote tonight's show.
Oh?
John Elliott and Andy White, our other writers.
Oh, yeah.
From Jack Meakin and the orchestra. Monty Fraser, our sound effects man.
Oh, Monty.
Ray Ferguson, our engineer. Fran Van Hartesveld, our director.
Yeah.
And from our sponsors, the Kraft Foods Company. We all hope that our shows will bring you a lot of pleasure during the coming year.
Good night.
Have you had a hankering for that old-fashioned, aged, natural American cheese? If so, you'll be glad to know that now, for the first time since before the war, Kraft has plenty of those mellow, golden wheels. Since 1941, the demand for cheese has been so great that it's been difficult to set aside enough for aging. But now, at long last, Kraft has enough to supply your dealer with all he needs. Ask him for a big wedge cut from a golden wheel of mellow, good, aged, natural American. Just be sure that it's the kind that's been carefully aged by the master cheesemakers of Kraft. This This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine. Millions of women all over America serve Parquet because it tastes so good. Why, Parquet tastes like it should cost twice as much.
To market, to get some Parquet. Home again, try it today. You'll like it, you'll love it, like millions who say their favorite margarine is
Parkay, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. Well, it's the first week of January. Let's see what's doing this evening at the home of the Great Gildersleeve. His nephew Leroy is sprawled on the living room floor helping Dick Tracy solve a case.
Oh, boy.
His pretty niece Marjorie is curled up on the sofa with a movie magazine.
Oh, Gregory.
And the great man himself is in his study going over his first of the year bills.
Oh, brother. 9 and 7 are 16, and 5 makes 21, plus $64.34 makes $85.34. In Christmas bills alone. Certainly is more blessed to give in December than to receive in January. Let's see how I came out in 1948. Adding the 85.34 to the year's total makes 9 goes in there. Zeke. We've spent $500 more than we did the year before. No wonder I can't keep any money in the bank. Time to have a talk with the little family. Marjorie, Leroy.
What's up, Unc?
My bank account's down. That's what's up, Leroy. We have to figure out where we can start saving. Marjorie, are you listening?
Oh, sorry, Unky. I was reading about Gregory.
Well, drop Gregory unless he wants to pay some of these bills.
Oh, all right.
Marjorie, this is important. I've been going over my books, and your old uncle is getting in deeper all the time. At the rate we're going, we can't live on my salary anymore.
Oh, that's too bad, Unky. I was about to ask if you'd let me take advantage of the January clearance sale.
Oh, my goodness.
I need a sweater and a new flannel skirt and stocking.
Well, go easy, Marjorie, please.
I don't need any clothes, Unc. I'm fixed.
Oh, that's fine, Leroy.
So could I have 20 cents for a cheap Western?
Leroy? I see I can't cut down on expenses in here. I'll go talk to Bertie. They say the woman who buys for the house spends 80% of the money. Oh, Bertie.
Yes, Miss Gildersleeve?
Bertie, I've just been having a little talk with the children about cutting expenses.
Oh. You like to sit down, Miss Gildersleeve?
No thanks, Bertie. Somebody in this house is spending entirely too much money.
Yes, sir.
We got to figure out where we can economize. Suppose we take a look at some of your grocery slips.
Yes, sir. Got them right here in the drawer.
That's good. There must be someplace we can start saving.
Yes, it's pretty hard to save in the kitchen.
The kitchen, yes. Look right here at this first item. Coffee. 57 cents. Bertie, perhaps if you'd shop around a bit.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I walked my legs off to find it that cheap. Bertie's a good shopper.
Oh, yes. Well, let's take another item. 10 cans of grapefruit juice. Bertie, there's an extravagance.
Well, little Leroy has to have his citrus. We don't want him to have colds all winter and grow up spindly-legged and no teeth.
Yeah, no, of course not, Bertie. We've got to cut down where it's possible.
Yes, sir, that's what I've been doing. There's one thing I'll say for Bertie. She's a good shopper, walks her legs off.
I understand, Bertie, but...
Of course, if you don't think Bertie's a good shopper...
Well, that's not it at all, Bertie.
Bertie don't spare no shoe leather. There ain't a storekeeper in town don't know Bertie because she walks her legs off.
Yeah, all right. I'm sorry I brought it up.
Mr. Gildersleeve, did you like that rump roast we had tonight?
Oh, it was very nice, Bertie.
So was the price, only 69 cents a pound. You know how I got it that cheap, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie.
That's right, walk my legs off.
Guess the only way I can save is to give up cigars again. This is certainly the hard way to save money. Walking through a foot of snow to get downtown.
Morning, Gildy.
Oh, hello, Judge.
If you're on your way downtown, would you mind walking in front of my car?
Walking in front of your car?
Yes, you're built so close to the ground, you'd make a wonderful snowplow.
All right, Hooker.
Hop in, Gildy. I'll give you a lift.
Well, you might drop me at the barber shop. The snow is pretty heavy this morning.
Isn't it, though? I've been having a lot of fun hitting the drifts and watching it fly.
Yes, sucking childhood.
Why aren't you driving this morning, Gildy? Wouldn't your car start?
I'm going to walk to work from now on, Judge. I'm going to save some money. I've even given up cigars.
Uh-huh. Sounds as though you've been trying to balance your books.
Trying is right. Judge, my salary just doesn't reach anymore.
If you can't make ends meet, Gildy, why don't you look for some way to supplement your income? Find a profitable sideline.
Sideline? That's easier said than done.
You're a man of imagination, Gildy. Think of a way to make money and then do it. What man can imagine, man can do. You may have undeveloped talents.
Mm-hmm.
At least if you have any talents, they're undeveloped.
All right, you old goat. Here's where I get off. Stop this cement mixer.
Oh, yes. You wanted to get out at Floyd's, didn't you?
Oh, watch it, Judge. What a driver.
I think it over, Gildy. What man can imagine,
Yeah,
man...
thanks for the ride, Hooker.
Uh-oh. I seem to be stuck in the snow.
Yeah,
Gildy, would you mind giving me a little push?
Judge, don't you imagine you can get out of there by yourself?
What?
What man can imagine, man can do.
But Gildy!
Oh, all right. I hate to see an old man cry.
Sit right up there in the chair, Commish. I'll be with you as soon as I shave myself.
Why don't you barbers shave at home?
Wasn't expecting anybody this early. Here, read a magazine while you're waiting.
Thanks.
Then what's it going to be? Haircut and shampoo and massage? About time for the works, ain't it?
Just be a haircut, Floyd. Those extras all cost money.
Since when you started pinching pennies, Commish? You always been known as a good spender in a barber shop.
Well, I was balancing my books last night, Floyd.
Oh, that.
It's getting harder and harder to keep my head above water.
Getting rough, huh, Commish? Maybe you ought to get a sideline. Take like my wife's sister. She's got chickens in the garage.
Please, Floyd. I've just had a lot of bum advice from the judge. Those big ideas for making extra money always fizzle out. Yeah, look at this now. Learn to write. Make big money at home in your spare time. Isn't that ad ridiculous?
Would be for me.
You, too, may become a successful writer after 13 easy lessons.
Yeah?
And listen to this. Mrs. Emma Henshaw, housewife, pictured above, sold her first story for $600.
What a lot of malarkey.
I don't know, Floyd. Look, she's holding up the check. Looks bona fide. Says here, anybody with imagination can write.
Uh-huh.
Come to think of it, that's pretty important to a writer. Imagination. How could writers think up those things if they didn't have imagination? It just happens to be one of my talents.
It does?
Oh, yeah. The judge was just saying what a good imagination I have. And what man can imagine, man can do.
Well, maybe you could make the grade writing at that, Commish. You come up from nothing to be a water commissioner.
Floyd.
I was only kidding, Commish. I will say this for you. You write a good letter.
Oh, you think so, Floyd?
Yep. Remember that delinquent notice you sent to my and Lovey's house that time? Very well worded. Of course, it made us so mad we tore it up, but very well worded.
Thanks, Floyd.
Sure, and you got that literary air.
I have?
Sure. Why, you'd look just like that gent I seen autographing books down at Hogan Brothers if you let your hair grow and you... What am I saying? Well, I'm ready to give you a trim, Commish.
Never mind the trim, Floyd. I may just let my hair grow.
But, Commish...
And if you don't mind, I'll take this magazine along. By George, I might just mail this coupon. 13 easy lessons for $25. with constructive criticisms. $600 for a short story, eh? I wonder what they'd pay for a continued story. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you today?
Peavy, do you have one of those magazines for writers?
How's that?
You know, the ones that tell you how much they pay for stories.
Let's see. I think we do have a magazine here on the stand that deals in such things. Yeah, here it is. Writer's Market, it says.
That's what I want. Let me see that.
That'll be 25 cents.
Yep, I just want to look at it, Peavy.
Very well, I can't charge for that. Anything else?
You might give me a couple of El Lobo cigars.
Yeah, well, El Lobos it is.
I was going to give up cigars, but... Oh, what's this? Bestseller sold to movies. Betty McDonald's first novel, The Egg and I, sold for $50,000.
Here are your El Lobos, Mr. Gildersleeve. That'll be 16 cents.
50. Take 'em back, Peavy. Bring me Coronas.
Coronas? My.
And I'll buy this magazine.
Very well. Wrap it as a gift?
No, Peavy. I'm going to use it myself.
You don't say.
Nothing wrong with a man increasing his income at home, writing, if he has the talent for it.
No, not if he has the talent. I often wish I had a knack for writing. By Ned, I've had some experiences that'd make pretty thrilling reading.
Oh, that's so, Peavy?
I'm here to tell you. Mr. Gildersleeve, if you should ever need material, it just might be you'd like to weave a story around the time Mrs. Peavy and I went to the Grand Canyon.
Oh? What happened?
Very thrilling sight, Mr. Gildersleeve. Then there was the time the tent show came to town and the romantic lead got sick and couldn't appear.
I suppose you took his place.
No, the ticket seller did. But I sold the tickets.
Oh, for Peavy, if I need any material, I'll take it from my own experience.
Very well.
I'm sure I've led a much more interesting life than you have.
Have you ever seen the Grand Canyon?
Well, no, but...
Ever sold tickets in a tent show?
Well, no, but...
Then don't tell me who's had the experience.
Peavy, I may write a book about you at that. You are a character.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
This is the time of year when most of us feel a need for plenty of good, solid nourishment from our food. And one way to help get that nourishment is to eat plenty of Parquet margarine with your meals.
Sure is easy because Parquet tastes so good.
Well, it's easy in another way, too. With all its nutritional value, plus the 15,000 units of essential vitamin A you get in every pound, Parquet costs only about half as much as the most expensive spreads.
Sure, it's easy to buy, but it's even easier to taste is all I'm saying.
Well, there's a reason Parquet tastes so good. It's prepared like a rare luxury food from the selected products of American farms.
Reasoning ain't as important as tasting, Mr. Wall. You put some Parquet on hot breakfast waffles and you forget all about reasoning. Same way with hot biscuits, buns, and bread. Any way you try it, Parquet tastes like it should cost twice as much.
Friends, why not make sure you get the nourishment you need in this delightful way? This winter, buy light, delicately flavored Parquet, the margarine that tastes like it should cost twice as much. That's Parquet, Parkay, Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Well, they say necessity is the mother of invention. When the great Gildersleeve figured his income against his outgo for 1948, it seemed necessary to earn more money. A learn-to-write ad in a magazine caught his eye. And, not one to shilly-shally, we find him up bright and early this Saturday morning, eagerly bent upon a literary career.
No use waiting for those lessons to arrive. May as well start writing my first story now. Let's see. What'll I write about? Wonder what Mrs. Emma Henshaw wrote about. Say, maybe I should get a set of encyclopedias. I'll bet they're full of ideas. I'll telephone the bookstore. Well, no use waiting for the encyclopedias to arrive. I can get an idea. I could write about Peavy selling tickets at the No. I know what my trouble is. I don't have a typewriter. A good author thinks with his typewriter. Where's that phone? Well, no use waiting for that typewriter. I'll keep busy in longhand. Chapter 1 by Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. Well, I better stop for a while. Don't want to write myself out the first day. Yeah, I think I'll go over and see Adeline. No, she wouldn't want to discuss books like I do. I think I'll go over and chat with Eve Goodwin. She's a school principal. Hello, Eve.
Why, Throckmorton, what a surprise. Won't you come in?
Thank you.
It's been such a long time. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
Come into the parlor.
Parlor? Oh, thank you.
It's a little topsy-turvy, but Saturday seems to be the only time a school teacher has to clean house.
Looks fine, Eve. Very bohemian.
What?
Nothing. You sure I'm not interrupting too much?
Oh, of course not, Throckmorton. I'm delighted you came. Sit down.
Thanks. Eve, guess what I've been doing?
What you've been doing?
You'll be surprised.
Is something exciting down at the water department?
No, Eve. I'm doing a little writing these days.
You're writing, Throckmorton?
Yep.
Oh, an article about the water department?
No, a story. Continued type.
Well, this is a surprise. What are you writing about?
Well, life and things.
Throckmorton, you haven't changed a bit.
What?
Oh, and I think this sudden interest in the finer things is commendable. But, what made you settle on writing?
The money. I mean...
Of course. But think for a moment. How well are you qualified to become a writer?
Qualified? Well, a lot of people without experience sell their first story, Eve. And I can write as well as them.
They, Throckmorton.
They?
I'll grant there are some isolated success stories, but on the whole, writing is very hard and disappointing work.
Oh, I'm willing to work.
I know you are. But a writer must read good books, study and exchange ideas with well-informed people.
Well, that's why I came over.
Well, thank you, Throckmorton, but that's not quite what I had in mind. For instance, have you attended any meetings of our literary club on Saturday evenings?
Oh, no, that's Jolly Boys' night.
Mm-hmm. Well, it so happens there's an important writer in Summerfield now, a Mr. Clement.
There is?
Mm-hmm. He's going to lecture to our club this evening.
By George, Eve, that's wonderful.
You'll attend the lecture?
You bet. I'd like to meet this Clement fellow. Say, maybe I should invite him over to my house for tea. Yeah, I might learn a few angles.
Well,
That's it, Eve. I'll give a tea. Crumpets and everything. You'll come, won't you, Eve? How's Sunday afternoon?
Well, I'd be delighted, Throckmorton.
Great. I'll go invite him right now. Where's he staying?
He's the house guest of our club president, Mrs. Pettibone.
Mrs. Pettibone, huh? That old biddy and I never have been on the best of terms.
I know.
Yeah, but what the heck? I'll invite her, too. She likes to bite into a free crumpet the same as anybody else. Here she comes. I can see her through the little window. What a strut that Mrs. Pettibone has. And look at the tilt to her nose. Whoa! Hello, Mrs. Pettibone.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes.
Trouble with the water pipes in this neighborhood again?
Oh, no, no, indeed, Mrs. Pettibone. I came to invite your house guest, Mr. Clement, over to my house Sunday afternoon.
Oh?
You and Dr. Pettibone come too, of course, for tea.
Tea, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, crumpets, too, of course. We'll talk about literary things. In fact, it's going to be a literary tea.
Oh, this is most extraordinary, Mr. Gildersleeve. I didn't know you had the slightest appreciation of the aesthetic.
Well, I've kept it pretty well covered up. But I'm doing some writing now.
Oh. Well, due to Mr. Clement's crowded schedule, I regret to say I don't see how we can possibly attend your tea.
But Mrs. Pettibone...
I beg your pardon, Mrs. Pettibone.
Oh, Mr. Clement.
I was in the study, and I couldn't help overhearing this gentleman's invitation to tea on Sunday afternoon.
Will you see Mr. Clement?
I don't believe I've met Mr.
Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve.
How do you do, Mr. Gildersleeve? Writer, you say?
Well, just getting started. I'm city water commissioner on the side.
I see. Mrs. Pettibone, I believe with a little juggling of commitments, I can attend Commissioner Gildersleeve's tea.
You can? Oh, great. Sorry you and the doctor can't come, Mrs. Pettibone.
Oh, we'd be delighted.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
I'm overjoyed that you wish to attend, Mr. Clement, because Mr. Gildersleeve is one of our favorite people.
Oh, yeah.
Splendid. What is the hour, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, it's now 10 minutes past... Oh. You mean for Sunday? Well, shall we say 4 o'clock? Very fashionable hour.
Then until Sunday at 4. Good day, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, good day, Mr. Clement.
Good day, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Mrs. Pettibone.
Yes?
Yeah.
This afternoon, Unky?
Well, a guest of honor and a lot of literary people. Mrs. Pettibone, Eve Goodwin.
Oh, joy, a tea. I can hardly wait.
Leroy, you get going out of here. You keep out of sight till the tea's over.
Teach me. Who wants to stick around?
Leroy.
Does my lace cap look all right, Mr. Gildersleeve? Ain't wore one of these in a long time.
Looks fine, Bertie. And the parlor looks wonderful.
Thank you, sir. Them encyclopedias sure all off the bookcase.
Uncle Mort.
Yes, Marjorie?
Don't you think you're going a little overboard? All these encyclopedias and the typewriter.
Well, I don't have to pay for them right away. By the time I do, the royalties will be rolling in.
I'll bet.
You bet. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Will you meet Mr. Clement? You'll see what I mean. He became a successful writer, and now he just tours the world lecturing to women.
Well, if that's what you want.
Wouldn't be bad.
I'll get it.
Yeah, I'll get it, Bertie. It's just the judge.
Hello, Gildy.
Well, come on in, Judge. The reason I invited you...
I know. You wanted dignity, culture, and brains at your tea party.
Oh? Did you bring somebody with you, Horace?
Touche. Gildy, I wish to extend my compliments and best wishes upon your new endeavor.
Well, thank you, Judge. Here, have a cigar. A Corona.
Well, I thought you gave up cigars the other day to save money.
That was the other day, Judge. Oop, and Bertie, you get it this time. It's they.
I'm coming. A cap on straight, Miss Gildersleeve.
Yes, Bertie. Come on, Judge. Let's start talking about something. Grab an encyclopedia.
It's been a lovely tea, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Pettibone. Sorry you have to rush off.
Goodbye, Throckmorton, and congratulations. It's been a very successful party.
Oh, thank you, Eve.
Gildy, let me shake your hand. This has been a most inspirational afternoon.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Judge. There'll be a lot more like it.
Oh, Mr. Clement, are you coming with us?
Mr. Clement has agreed to stay for a little private chat, Mrs. Pettibone.
Oh.
He may even give me a little professional advice.
Mr. Gildersleeve has offered to drop me by later, Mrs. Pettibone.
Yes. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Au revoir. Bonsoir. These teas tire me. Well, Mr. Clement, shall we go into my study?
Very well, Mr. Gildersleeve.
You know, I appreciate your coming over to my house for tea, Mr. Clement.
I was very anxious to come.
Oh, I'm honored. Care to sit down? Take the stuffed chair.
Thank you.
I'll take this one by the typewriter. Nice cane you carry there. Is the head real gold?
Well,
Nice, expensive-looking suit you're wearing, too. English tweed?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Herringbone. It's easy to tell that you've written quite a few books in your time, Mr. Clement.
And quite a few.
Yeah. Well, I'll lay my cards on the table, Mr. Clement. The reason I arranged this tea was to learn a few trade secrets from you.
But, Mr. Gildersleeve, you seem to have a good thing here as water commissioner. Are you certain you want to get into writing?
I see through you, Mr. Clement. You don't want anybody to cut in on that big money, do you?
Oh, it isn't that at all. In fact, I came over here to make you a proposition.
Me? Wonderful.
Yes. You'll recall that I presented my lecture last evening without benefit of slides because they, failed to arrive.
Oh, yes. Well, what's your proposition?
Would you mind lending me $20 so I can have my trunk sent on from Omaha?
Lend you? So that's it. Get out. Get off the property, you writer.
The real test of a good meal is its flavor, of course. And you add a light, delicate, delicious flavor to any meal you serve if you use Parquet. A flavor the family will love, whether you use Parquet margarine in baking and cooking or as a spread for hot rolls or bread. And incidentally, when you buy Parquet, you spend only about half as much as you would for the most expensive spreads. Think of it. Half as much for this fine, nourishing margarine that tastes like a rare luxury food. Why not ask for Parquet tomorrow? Parkay, Parquet margarine made by Kraft. This January, serve the spread that tastes like it should cost twice as much.
So, Peavy, I sent back the encyclopedias and the typewriter and the 13 easy lessons. There's no money in this writing game.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Huh? What's this, Peavy?
You remember my little tent show experience you didn't think was worth writing about? Take a look at this.
What? A check for $36.
Don't tell me there's no money in this writing game.
Oh, my goodness. Say, Peavy, how about coming over to my house some evening for tea and discussion? Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. It is written by John Elliott and Andy White with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Arthur Q. Bryan, Earl Ross, and Richard LeGrand. This is John Wald saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
You bet.
Say, are you a cheese lover from away back? If so, you'll be glad to hear this good news. Now, at long last, Kraft has plenty of aged, natural American cheese for you. The mellow golden wheels dealers cut in wedges. Since before the war, the need for cheese has been so great that it was difficult to set aside much for curing. Just this past year, Kraft could send plenty of fine cheddars to the curing rooms, guarded for months and months. Now, this pre-war treat is back. Ask your dealer for a wedge of the mellow, grand-eating natural cheese, aged so carefully for you by the master cheesemakers of Kraft.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine. Millions of women all over America serve Parquet because it tastes so good. Why, Parquet tastes like it should cost twice as much.
To market, to get some Parquet. Home again, try it today. You'll like it, you'll love it, like millions who say their favorite margarine is
Parkay, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. Well, let's see what's going on in Summerfield this wintry Saturday morning. Things are unusually quiet in the Gildersleeve household. Leroy and Marjorie at the breakfast table are speaking in whispers. Bertie's walking around on tiptoes.
You want some more pancakes, Leroy?
Yeah, I sure do, Bertie.
Shh, Leroy, keep your voice down.
Oh,
Yeah, you hadn't better wake up your uncle.
Okay. How come Unc didn't go to work this morning?
I don't know. All I know is he left orders, do not disturb.
He had to work late at the water department last night, so I guess he's taking the day off.
All I know is we better be quiet.
Okay. Can I have some more pancakes?
Okay. You want some more, Miss Marjorie?
Please, Bertie.
Okay. What was that?
I don't know. It came from outside. Hey, look out there!
Uh-oh, Mr. Bullet backed up over our can box again.
Oh, dear. Cans all over the street. Yeah.
Mr. Gildersleeve ain't gonna like this.
Unc sure got mad last time he did it.
He sure did.
Maybe he'll punch Mr. Bullet in the nose. Oh, Leroy.
This could lead to a lot of trouble. I hope Mr. Gildersleeve didn't hear it.
What was that?
Uh-oh, he heard it. Here comes trouble.
Bertie, children, what was that noise?
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve, you see
Everything's all right, Unky. Why don't you just go back to bed?
I would still like to know what that noise was.
It was Mr. Bullet, Unc. He ran over our can box again.
Oh, is that all? Guess I will go back to bed.
Huh? Unc, aren't you mad at Mr. Bullard?
Why, no.
But you said if he did it again, you were going to punch him in the nose.
Well, that was in 1948, Leroy. I've decided that this year I'm going to be more friendly with Mr. Bullard, more neighborly.
Well, for corn's sake.
It's true we've had our little arguments in the past, but after all, he lives right across the street, and there's no reason why we can't be good friends.
I think that's wonderful of you, Unky.
It sure is, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just being sensible, that's all. No reason why Mr. Bullard and I should be quarreling all the time. He's sort of a stuffed shirt, but he's really not a bad fellow. I'll just be friendly to him, and I'm sure he'll be friendly to me.
Hey, Unc, Mr. Bullard's coming up for a walk.
Oh?
He doesn't look very friendly to me.
He sure don't.
Well, that's nonsense. He's probably just coming in to apologize. Love thy neighbor. Step up and say, how be ya? Good morning, Mr. Bullard.
Gildersleeve.
I know you want to apologize for running over my can box. Well, accidents happen in the best of families.
Gildersleeve, I do not want to apologize.
Oh?
When I take my car out, you know it's necessary for me to back into your driveway. I have such a long car.
Well, yes, of course.
And I've asked you repeatedly not to leave your can box on the edge of the driveway where I'm liable to back over it.
Yes, I know.
Has it ever occurred to you that I might puncture a tire that way?
Well, I never thought of that.
No, you wouldn't. Furthermore, your disreputable old can box is an eyesore.
Well...
You know, this is supposed to be a first-class neighborhood.
Careful, Bullard.
What's that?
Nothing. I'll pick up the cans.
Yes, the exercise certainly won't hurt you. You might work off some of that stomach.
Bullard? Bullard,
Yeah?
You... I'm sorry about the can box.
Well, just see that it doesn't happen again. Good day.
I made it. This is a nice nice way to spend a winter day, all right. Sitting with your little family around the fireside. Pretty nice, all right. Don't you think so, Marjorie?
Yes, Uncle.
Don't you think so, Leroy?
Yeah, it's okay, I guess.
Hmm?
Unc, I'm tired of staying in. Can I have a quarter to go to the movies?
Leroy, you went to the movies last night. If you're restless, why don't you go out and play in the snow?
No, there's nothing to do out there.
Well, you could pick up those cans and put them back in the box. That'd be wonderful exercise.
I thought you were going to do it, Unc. Mr. Bullard said you were the one that needed it.
Never mind, Leroy. Well, go out and play anyway. There's little Craig Bullard across the street. Go over and play with him.
He's a twerp.
Now, he's not so bad for a Bullard.
Oh, I don't like him. He's a twerp.
Oh, Leroy, that's not the right attitude. Remember, we're going to be friendly with the Bullards now, huh?
Gee, I liked it better when we were fighting with him.
That will do now. Go out and play with Craig, Leroy.
Okay.
And put your little coat on.
Okay.
Love thy neighbor. Ta-da-da-dee.
Uncle Mort,
Yes?
you look awful funny with that halo around your head.
What?
I can't get used to you being so sweet and gentle with the Bullards.
Well, I'm just starting my own good neighbor policy, that's all.
You certainly are. I thought sure you were going to blow up this morning when Mr. Bullard talked to you that way.
Well, frankly, so did I for a minute. It just takes a little self-control, Marjorie. Bullard has his little faults, but so do we all. There's no reason whatsoever why our two little families can't live peacefully side by side. Love thy neighbor, step up and say... What's that?
It's Leroy.
Leroy, what's the matter?
He hit me in the nose with a snowball.
Who?
Craig.
Oh, dear.
He hit me in the nose with a snowball.
Oh, there goes your good neighbor policy.
Well, I'm sure little Craig didn't mean it.
He did, too. He hit me when I wasn't looking, little sneak.
Now, Leroy.
And then he ran in the house before I could hit him, the little sneak.
Now, Leroy, it isn't that serious. A little snow never hurt anybody.
Well, it's not your nose, it's my nose.
Yeah, well...
Little sneak. Say, there he is out in the yard again. Wait till I get my hands on him.
Leroy, you come back here. I'll take care of Craig.
You will?
Yes, I'll go over and have a little talk with him.
Oh. Can't I hit him with a snowball first?
No, you can't. I will handle this. You just wait here. Oh, cold out here. I'll just explain to Craig that he shouldn't do things like that. No reason why these little things can't be settled amicably. Oh, Craig! Craigie!
What do you want?
Come here a minute.
I will not.
Well, okay, then I'll come over there.
You keep away from me.
I'm not going to hurt you, my boy. I just want to have a little talk with you.
You keep away from me.
Craigie, I just wanted to... Craig, what are you going to do with that snowball? Now, Craigie, you wouldn't... Craig, put that thing down. Don't you throw that. Craig! Oh! Oh! Leroy is right. You are a little sneak. Just wait till I make a snowball. I'll show you.
You let me alone.
I'll teach you to throw snowballs,
Craig,
you little...
what's the matter? What are you doing here, Gildersleeve?
Oh, hello, Mr. Bullard.
What's going on out here? Are you annoying Craig?
What? Oh, no. No, you see, Craig hit Leroy in the nose with a snowball, and then he hit me in the nose with a snowball.
Well, he has a good aim, hasn't he?
I ought to throw this at him. That stuck-up nose of his would make a wonderful target. No, control yourself, Gildersleeve.
Now, come on, Craig. After this, Gildersleeve, I suggest you play with someone your own size. Good day.
How can you love a neighbor like that? All the people in Summerfield and I had to live across the street from Bullard. I guess he was right about that old can box of mine, though. Well, Peavy ought to have a box I could use. Good afternoon, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can your friendly neighborhood druggist do for you today?
Well,
You might want to take advantage of our weekend sale on toothbrushes.
No.
Or you might be interested in our bargain offer on nail files.
Well, no, Peavy. I'm looking for a box.
How's that?
I'd like to get a box.
A box of what?
An empty box.
Would you repeat that, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Look, Peavy, I need an empty box, a large one. A carton to put my cans in.
Oh.
Do you have one to spare?
I believe I have one in the back room.
Good. Mr. Bullard ran over mine this morning.
Oh, Bullard ran over your can box again? I'll bet you raised Ned with him, huh?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No. No use starting arguments over these little things. Bullard really isn't such a bad fellow, Peavy.
Mr. Gildersleeve, are you sure you feel all right?
Of course I do. There's no reason why neighbors shouldn't get along with each other.
Yes, not.
It's just a matter of controlling your temper, that's all.
Well, you have a point there, all right.
Sure.
I remember when I was a young man, I had a terrible temper.
You did, Peavy?
Oh, yes, I was a regular wildcat.
Is that so?
Positively. I'll never forget the time I went on a picnic with the future Mrs. Peavy. The town bully was there, and he started teasing her. He kept flipping olive pits in her potato salad.
He did?
Yes, and I warned him he'd better stop or he'd have to take the consequences. But he kept on, and finally I couldn't control myself any longer.
What'd you do, Peavy? Punch him in the nose?
No, when he wasn't looking, I put a spider in his lunchbox.
With that terrible temper of yours, I'll bet Mrs. Peavy doesn't dare open her mouth when you're around.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I wouldn't either. Can I have the box, please? Didn't know there were so many of these darn cans. I don't mind a little exercise, but this is overdoing it. Here's some more over here. Tomato soup. Sliced peaches. Artichoke hearts. Oh, that's the night we had the judge over to dinner. It's a wonder he didn't eat the can, too, the old goat.
Hi, Unc.
Oh, hello, Leroy.
Need any help?
Yeah, thanks a lot. You managed to time it just right, Leroy. I'm all through.
Oh, that's too bad.
You can help me move this box over a little.
Sure.
We'll see how Bullard can back into this thing now. Well, come on, Leroy. It's cold. Let's go in the house.
Hey, Unc, there's Craig across the street. I'm going to get him.
Leroy, you stay right here.
I've got a snowball on me.
You heard me, young man. We're not going to fight with the neighbors.
Hey, Unc, there's Bullard backing in here again.
Oh, well, he certainly won't back over the can box this time.
He's heading right for it.
What? He missed it. Well, hello, Mr. Bullard.
Well, I see you got a new can box.
Yeah. Peavy gave me a cod liver oil carton, and I moved it over so it wouldn't be in your way.
If you'd done that in the first place, I wouldn't have hit it.
Yes.
Look out, Duck!
Huh? Who threw that snowball?
Craig did, the little sneak.
Why, that little...
Temper, Gildersleeve. Boys will be boys.
That does it. Leroy, hand me that snowball.
Gildersleeve, don't you dare throw that snowball at my son.
I wouldn't think of it. This one's for you.
Gildersleeve!
You hit him right in the nose, Unc.
I did. Leroy, keep passing the ammunition.
Best on biscuits.
I like it best on bread, especially on that rich pumpernickel, Bertie.
Hot bread is the way I like it best.
Well, I'll have to admit it's awfully good on pancakes, too.
Sure is, Mr. Wall, because when parquet starts melting, you get all that luxury taste. Every last mention of it.
Luxury is the word, Bertie, because parquet is prepared like a rare luxury food from the selected products of American farms. And whether you like it best on waffles or bread, every pound of parquet is brimming over with nourishment and reinforced with 15,000 units of essential vitamin A.
Then bring on them reinforcements, I say. Bring on them vitamins, just as long as they taste so good.
And cost so little. I guess you know this, Bertie. Parquet costs only about half as much as the most expensive spreads.
Bring it on, I say, because it tastes like it should cost twice as much.
Friends, next time your family sits down to dinner, serve them delicious parquet. The whole family will enjoy the light, delicate taste of this spread. This luxury spread that tastes like it should cost twice as much. Tomorrow, ask for Parquet. That's Parkay, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft.
Yes, ma'am. You'll get your whole family saying, bring it on. Bring on that Parquet.
Well, the temperature has dropped sharply in Summerfield, and things are especially chilly in the Gildersleeve Bullard area. Yes, and there's a big wind blowing, too.
And we're not going to have any more to do with the Bullards, you understand?
All right, Unky.
Do you understand, Bertie?
Yes, Miss Gildy.
All right. And Marjorie, I don't even want you to speak to him on the street.
Oh, Unky.
Well, I don't.
But yesterday you wanted us to be friendly with them.
That was yesterday. You can't be friendly with a stuffed shirt like Bullard. It's like trying to pet a porcupine. It's not funny, Bertie. I don't want you talking to their cook anymore.
No, sir.
The next time she comes over to borrow a cup of sugar, put some salt in it.
Oh, that good neighbor policy sure didn't last long.
Unky, aren't you being a little bit silly about this?
No, I'm not being silly. I tried to get along with Bullard. I extended the hand of friendship, and he bit it. Well, I don't have to take anything from him just because he's got a new DeSoto. Say, I could let the air out of his tires.
Uncle Mort.
Yeah? I'll get it. I hope that's Bullard.
Hello, Gildy.
Oh, hello, Judge. Come on in.
Just thought I'd drop by. Oh, hello, Marjorie.
Hello, Judge.
Well, Gildy, how's the good neighbor today?
What?
Peavy told me about your new attitude toward Mr. Bullard. I think it's very commendable.
Don't you mention Bullard's name to me, that silk hat Harry.
What? Well, Gildy, what's happened? I thought you were full of the milk of human kindness.
I was, but it curdled.
Yes, things are back to normal, Judge.
Oh, from what I heard, my chubby friend, I thought you'd sprouted wings. Of course, it'd take pretty big wings to get you off the ground.
I don't care what you thought, you old goat. Anyway, from now on, I'll go my way and Bullard can go his. And I hope he trips.
Gildy.
I mean it. If I never see Bullard again, it'll be too soon.
Oh, hello, Leroy.
Hello.
Hello, Leroy.
Well, have you been having a jolly time playing in the snow?
No, I was talking to Craig.
Craig? Leroy, didn't I forbid you to have anything?
Wait a minute, Gildy. Can't you see something's troubling the boy?
Huh? What's the matter?
Nothing.
Yes, there is, Leroy. Now, what is it?
Nothing. I didn't want to go anyhow.
Go where?
On the sleigh ride this afternoon.
Sleigh ride? What are you talking about, Leroy?
Well, Mr. Bullard hired a big sleigh. He's taking all the kids out for a ride.
Oh.
They're going out to the lake, skate, and roast wieners and stuff. But who cares?
Did they invite you, Leroy?
No, Craig said I couldn't go. But who cares?
Sure. You wouldn't have any fun with old Prissy Pants Bullard along anyway. He'd probably charge you for the wieners.
Yeah.
I bet they won't have a good time at all.
No, guess not. Well, I think I'll go upstairs. Excuse me.
I'll go up with you, Leroy.
Glad Leroy's being sensible about this.
Uh-huh.
After all, he's not missing much. Just a sleigh ride? Sure, he doesn't care.
Gildy, why don't you be honest with yourself?
What?
You know very well Leroy's dying to go.
Well...
And if you weren't on the outs with Bullard, he would have been invited.
Well, maybe he would,
Gildy, why don't you be a good sport about this?
What?
Why don't you go over and make up with Bullard right now for Leroy's sake?
I will not.
Gildy.
I've taken enough from Bullard. By George, I can be pushed just so far. Then I become a raging lion.
If you ask me, you're acting more like a mule, a long-eared one at that.
Why don't you mind...
Now, if you'll take my advice...
Save your advice for your jury, you old windbag.
Who are you calling a windbag, you pumpkinhead?
Ambulance chaser?
Gildy.
Oh, go stick your head in a briefcase and zip it up.
Well, good day.
Good riddance.
I talk to you for a minute?
Well, I'm trying to read the paper, but all right.
Unky, Leroy's still up in his room.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. Bertie just brought him up a sandwich, but he wouldn't eat it.
Oh?
Oh, it's too bad he can't go on that sleigh ride.
Yes.
Unky, couldn't you go over and make up with Mr. Bullard just this once?
No, I'm not going over to Bullard, Marjorie. I thought I made that clear.
But, Uncle...
I'm sorry about Leroy, but it just can't be helped.
But, Uncle
That
Mort...
will do, Marjorie. The subject is closed.
All right. I'm going over to Francie's for a while. Goodbye.
Goodbye, my dear. Children are certainly a problem. Now, where was I? I've read Truman's speech 3 times, and I still don't know what it says. Hello, Bertie.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
You been up in Leroy's room?
Yes, sir.
Guess he's feeling all right, huh? Too bad he can't go on that sleigh ride, but it can't be helped.
No, sir.
What's Leroy doing up there, Bertie? Reading? Playing his little radio?
No, sir. He's just sitting and staring.
Oh.
That's all he's doing, just sitting and staring.
Oh, I see. Well...
He ain't reading, he ain't playing the radio, he's just sitting and staring.
I understand, Bertie.
That's what he's doing, just sitting and staring.
Yes, Bertie.
He ain't jumping up and down.
I know that.
He ain't singing a song.
All right, Bertie.
He ain't doing a dance.
Bertie.
No, sir, he's just sitting and staring.
Poor little fellow. Guess he feels pretty bad. All right. These things mean a lot to a kid. Maybe I ought to go over and see Bullard. No. Some fellas would weaken at a time like this. Swallow their pride. Eat humble pie. That's what some fellas would do, all right. But not me. No, sir. I won't. Yes, I will. Control your temper now, Gildersleeve. Remember, this is for Leroy. I'll be nice to Bullard if it kills me. Hello, Miss... Oh, Craig.
What do you want?
I'd like to see your father. Would you call him, please?
No, I won't.
Go on now, Craigie. I want to see your father.
Well, he doesn't want to see you.
What?
My father says you're an ignoramus.
You mean ignoramus. What?
Yeah. That's what he called you, a big fat one. And he didn't want you around here either.
You tell your father to go jump in the lake.
I will not. You're a big fat ignoramus.
Look here, you little snob. Well, he's not so smart. Can't even pronounce ignoramus. Hello, Leroy.
Hello.
Oh, so you decided to come downstairs for a while, huh, my boy?
Yeah.
Leroy, I just went over to make up with the Bullards.
You did?
Yeah, but I'm afraid it didn't do any good.
Oh.
Too bad about the sleigh ride. But don't you worry, my boy. We can have a wonderful time right here at home. Sure. I'll tell you what. I'll get some wieners and we'll roast them right here in the living room. Won't that be fun?
Thanks, Unc. But I'm not very hungry.
Oh. Well, I know. How about going to the movies?
I don't feel like going right now.
Oh? Well, it should be something you'd like to do. Let's see. Now, what's that out there?
There's some of the kids.
Huh?
Red and Chuck. And there's Piggy. I didn't know he was going.
Leroy, why don't you come away from the window now? There's nothing more to see.
Okay.
I know how you feel, my boy, but there'll be other sleigh rides.
It's okay, Unc.
There'll be plenty of good times ahead, Leroy. There'll be other things we... I get it, Bertie.
Gildersleeve?
Bullard.
Where's Leroy?
What?
We're waiting for him. We're all ready to start our sleigh ride.
But Leroy isn't going. I mean, Craig said he wasn't invited.
What? Why, Craig knew better than that. Of course he's invited.
Well, I thought that since you and I have been having a little disagreement, you wouldn't...
Oh, nonsense. I'm not that small, Gildersleeve. Leroy is most welcome to come.
Yes? Well, thanks, Leroy.
Here I am, Unc. Got my skates and everything. Thanks, Mr. Bullard.
Oh,
it's all right, son.
Have a good time, my boy.
I will. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye. I don't know how to thank you, Mr. Bullard. We've had our little difficulties, but, well, I just want you to know I think you're a fine fellow.
You do? Well, I still think you're an ignoramus. Good day, Gildersleeve.
Oh, my neighbor, step up and
Hot toast on a winter morning. Hot toast covered with melted parquet. There's nothing better. And the nourishment you get from parquet is as welcome to your system as parquet's light, delicate flavor is welcome to your taste. Serve parquet for breakfast tomorrow. And as you enjoy helping after helping of this delicious food with a luxury taste, remember, it costs only about half as much as the most expensive spreads. You'll like its light, delicate flavor on waffles, pancakes, muffins, as well as on toast or bread. No matter how you use parquet, we think you'll agree it tastes like it should cost twice as much. That's Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, Parquet margarine made by Kraft.
Well, did you have a good time on your sleigh ride, Leroy?
I sure did, Unc. It was swell. We skated, roasted wieners, and everything.
Oh, that's good.
Then we sat around the fire, and Mr. Bullard gave us a little talk.
A talk? He would. What did old frozen face have to say?
He talked about thrift, Unc. He said it was important to get the saving habit when you're young.
Oh?
And he said the best way to save was to buy United States savings bonds.
Well, I hate to agree with Bullard, but for once in his life, he's absolutely right. Savings bonds are the best way to save, Leroy. I've been buying them for a long time.
Uh-huh.
They're very profitable. For every $3 you put in, you get back $4. And they're easy to buy. I just have mine taken out of my salary down at the water department every month. People who aren't on a payroll can buy them wherever they bank. Everybody ought to take advantage of one of these automatic saving plans, Leroy.
Unc?
Yes, my boy?
I'd be glad to take advantage of one of those plans if you just raise my allowance a little.
Well, I'm sure we can arrange something, Leroy. Remember, folks, save for your future now. Buy United States savings bonds regularly. Good night.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. It is written by John Elliott and Andy White with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Arthur Q. Bryan, Earl Ross, and Richard LeGrand. This is John Wald saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
You bet.
Say, are you a cheese lover from away back? If so, you'll be glad to hear this good news. Now, at long last, Kraft has plenty of aged, natural American cheese for you. The mellow golden wheels dealers cut in wedges. Since before the war, the need for cheese has been so great that it was difficult to set aside much for curing. Just this past year, Kraft could send plenty of fine cheddars to the curing rooms, guard it for months and months. Now, this pre-war treat is back. Ask your dealer for a wedge of the mellow, grand-eating natural cheese, aged so carefully for you by the master cheesemakers of Kraft.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.